What's going on, you guys? My name is Seapeekay and welcome back to another video. This one a little bit different because I thought I would sit and talk to you about what happened over my weekend. Because if you follow me on Twitter or you follow me on Instagram, and if you don't already, then it's just the same as my YouTube, and you probably should be following me already. But if for any reason you're not, go and check that out. But if you do follow me, you will have seen that I now have this lovely injury. Which is about, 1 inch, 2 inch, split above my eyeball. Very fun. And also my nose is really fat and swollen. Actually, this camera's doing wonders for the color because it looks like my face is normal, but it's very bruised, as are my knees. And I'm going to explain to you what happened. Also, it was my birthday yesterday, so I looked like this for my birthday, which was wonderful. Yeah, I thought I'd tell you guys a little bit about what happened. It's a fun story. So if you want to know more about it, then stay tuned, because that's what we're going to talk about. A few of the boys went away for Joel's stag do. Because as you guys know, Smallish Beans is marrying LD Shadow Lady. So we went away to go and see the sights of the beautiful city of Prague. So it was a short trip. It was only like a little weekend away, where we did a bunch of cool stuff. We went on sightseeing, and then we did some paintballing and things like that. And we went out on Friday. We flew out. There was a bunch of us. It was like me, Ollie, Joel, our friend Matty, and Che, and Jack, and then a bunch of Joel's friends from college as well. And we all went out to Prague. And while we were there, we just had a good time. We had a good weekend. And it was the Saturday night. It was about 7 or 8 p.m. We'd just been out for food. So we'd just been eating at one of my favorite restaurants, Vapiano's, which I believe are primarily in Europe and not really anywhere else at the minute. But it's a fantastic Italian place, and I love it there. So we went to Vapiano's, and we had some good food, and we had a drink. And then as we were leaving, we saw that they had balloons, and they gave us some balloons, which was very kind of them. Little did I know how much this balloon was going to cause a problem, okay, with my face. Now, I know you're thinking, how did a balloon do this? You'll find out. So we were messing around with the balloon. I was literally texting people, telling them how excited I was that I had a balloon, okay, because I am a regular adult man, okay, and if I get a balloon, I'm going to tell everyone I'm excited about it, okay? So, we're messing around with the balloons, and we're prattling about, and we decide that we're going to go back to the apartment, have a little breather before we go out for the night and celebrate. And we get back to the apartment, everything is fine, we're all messing around, I take off my shoes. Now, I didn't realize quite how slippy the floor was, and our friend Joel hit the balloon towards me, and I tried to jump and kick the balloon. In doing so, I messed that up, lost my balance, span and slipped, and literally just went straight down flat. So I managed to hit my knee, my nose, and my head in one swift bounce, okay? It's actually pretty impressive, honestly. If you really break it down, it's actually quite hard to do that. So I'm talented, is what I'm getting at here. But yeah, and I fell, I hit the ground, and everyone was like, oh, you okay? And I was like, I'm fine. I rolled over, and they were just like, oh my God, you're bleeding. I was like, brilliant, great. So I just laid there, like literally laid there for like 20 minutes. Not really knowing what to do, to be honest. They were cleaning it up and stuff, and cleaning the floor because it was like a rented apartment, so I didn't want to get us in trouble. And yeah, I was worried that, I was going to like get us in trouble because we'd messed up the Airbnb. So Matty and Chase stayed with me and made sure I was okay, which, by the way, guys, I was actually fine, weirdly. I guess it was the shock of it happening, but it didn't really hurt that much at all. And once we started like the bleeding and stuff, it was fine. So not really the end of the world. If you want to see, better pictures of the cut and stuff, then check out my Twitter or Instagram. I am going to put a picture on screen right now of the actual cut when it was at its worst, okay? So if you are squeamish, then I'm going to put this image on for around 3 seconds. If you want to skip 10 seconds, you can. If you want to see it, you can pause it, okay? But I'm going to flash it up for literally 1 second so you guys can see it, okay? If you don't want to see it, skip forward a little bit. Here's a picture of the cut. Now, that's gone. So just because people are always asking me what it looked like when I first did it, and that now you know, So 3 of my friends went to a pharmacy. Bear in mind, it's about 8 p.m., 9 p.m. maybe. 3 of my friends went to a pharmacy to ask what they should do, and they took a picture of me and showed the pharmaceutical person and said, like, you know, should we get some like gauze and bandage to like clean it up? And they said, no, take him straight to hospital. So I was like, great. So we got an Uber because I'm not about to get an ambulance out. That's a complete waste of time. I can get myself to the hospital, and I'm a big believer in not wasting the emergency services time, because there was someone who would definitely have needed it more than me at that point. So we got an Uber to the nearest hospital, and we got there, and I gave them my name, I gave them my identification, I gave them all that stuff, and they were like, okay, come through. So I went through, and a lady like cleaned my head up. She put this like towel on that was like sizzling, which felt quite nice. And then I basically got left there for about 20 minutes with nothing really happening. I just was literally laid there like, I don't know what to do. So I just literally stayed there, and then like 3 different doctors came in and like had a look, but no one did anything. And I was like, so I tried to make small talk with the doctor. Turns out she spoke no English at all. So that just ended up being really, really awkward, which I love, by the way. We stan an awkward sister, okay? So I'm there, laid there, and then this guy comes in, he's like, hello. I was like, okay, good, here we go. Someone I can talk to. And he basically looked at my head and was like, oh, okay, put a towel over my head. And I was like, okay, we're going to give you some shots now. It's probably going to sting. And he gave me like 2 injections into the cut, basically. And then I couldn't feel anything. And that was great. So, and then he just did, I think it's 6 stitches I have. So he gave me 6 stitches. Didn't tell me he was giving me stitches, okay, guys? Just went for it. Which, I mean, I figured I was going to get them, but he just went for it. He gave me 6 stitches. It took around 10 minutes, I think, to do the stitches. And then they cleaned me up a little bit, sat me up, and he was like, okay, now we need to talk about payment. So because I was in Europe and I wasn't in the UK, I would have to pay, even if I had travel insurance, which, by the way, big mistake, I didn't actually have travel insurance for this trip. It's very rare I don't have it. It just slipped my mind. However, with travel insurance, there's always an excess to pay. And let me tell you, this amount that I'm about to tell you would be way under my excess, okay? So I said to him, oh, what's the damage? How much is it going to cost? And he was like, my friend, you're in Prague. Cheapest healthcare in the world. And I was like, all right, that sounds good. To be fair, that sounds really good. He sat for about 5 minutes typing some stuff up. I saw him adding all these options, and I was like, oh my God, it's going to be super expensive. I'm scared. He handed me it, and it was 610 crowns. Now, to clarify, it's around 33 crowns to a pound. So the entire cost of this whole procedure was £18.50, which is wild because that's so cheap. Like, I don't even understand. And I eventually got a translate app so I could break down my receipt because I was curious. £8 of that was just because the doctor was there, okay? The stitches cost £2. The anesthetic was 35p. What is that? That's unreal. That's actually unreal, okay? So, unbelievably cheap. I was blown away. As I was leaving, I realized he hadn't told me anything. They didn't do a concussion check either. Like, I just smashed my head off the ground. They didn't do this thing, you know, where you like follow someone's finger. Didn't do that. But our good pal Ollie did one of those for us, and he, you know, had me checked over in the apartment by doing this. So I just followed his finger. So Ollie, top nurse, by the way, guys. And yeah, then we went out. I paid for it. And we went back to the hotel. A few of us, a couple of people stayed with me, and everyone else went out because obviously I didn't want to ruin the night. Like, that was my biggest worry, is that I had spoiled the night. I didn't care about my head. I didn't care about, you know, going to the hospital. That doesn't bother me. All I cared about was that I might have ruined the night. Luckily, I did not, and people still went out, and I was very, very thankful that they did. Obviously, I couldn't go out because there was still a chance I had some sort of concussion because I really hit my head on the floor, guys. Like, it was hard. I mean, it split my head open. So, I mean, that's pretty impressive. And then I went to sleep, and I got up in the morning, and I was surprisingly fine. I had 1 painkiller, and that's actually all I've had the whole time. And then I've had these stitches in for 5 days now. They're due. I mean, he didn't actually tell me if they would just come out themselves, like if they're dissolvable or if I have to go to get them taken out. He didn't really tell me anything, honestly. That's the one thing that was pretty sketchy about all this, is because there was so little information and they really didn't do many checks to see if I was like okay. And also my nose is like, it's actually quite thin again now, but it was real fat and like all brown and cut here. they didn't check if my nose was broken, or they didn't do anything. They just did my eye and then moved on. So I'm hoping when all this goes down, my nose isn't broken. I feel like I'd feel it by now if it was, because, you know, I've still been breathing fine. I've had no real pain with it, so I assume if it was broken by now, I'd probably know about it. But yeah, then I was really worried about flying home because of the pressure on the flight, but that was absolutely fine. And then when I landed, I drove back, and I've been away for the last few days, seeing some friends for my birthday. Again, more pictures of that on my Instagram if you want to check them out, because my friends threw me a very cute little birthday party, and it was absolutely adorable. I feel very, very, very loved. So, you know, I had a great day, and other than this, which I didn't let ruin my weekend either, by the way, I still had a great time. But yeah, I thought I'd just give you guys the story of what happened and explain why my face is going to look like this in the next few videos, because I'm about to bulk record again because I'm going away again all the time right now. So I thought I'd explain to you guys before I just get loads of comments being like, what's wrong with his face? So this should hopefully fade in the next few days, and we can move on from there. But I'm A-okay. I had a great birthday, guys. Thank you to everyone who made me like fan art and fan edits. That's so, so kind of you. I really appreciate you all. Thank you so much for watching this video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, then leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you're new. Gaming videos resume tomorrow, and I will see you all there. Peace.